All right, we're recording right now. Man, y'all may know him as True Nation Hip Hop. Y'all may know him as The Fisherman. Either way, we got him here live all the way from New York. Deadass B. Fisherman's in the house, y'all.
What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing?
Man, it's funny, man. I see now when they always got to tag us in every video. Fisherman KB and Fisherman KB and Defund always got to be tagged. So this collab's gonna be dope. Even though we collab back in your True Nation days when you're being canceled for Miss a Woman, you know, rebranded. Now you're the Fisherman. And real quick, guys, this is the Views from the Simp podcast. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real, helping the men with the confidence in their dating life. Real quick, for people who don't know, introduce yourself, Fisherman. What's going on?
What's up, guys? How we going? It's KB, aka the Fisherman. We take advice from the fish, or men, not the fish.
Got you. You know what? I feel bad because I feel like there's no. Hey guys, I'm sorry. There's no volume coming from this. Damn. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I can't live stream at the same time because the volume's coming from my earphones. They can't even hear you.
What's up, guys? It's KB, the Fisherman. We don't take advice from fish, only the fisherman. I have been doing this, the whole red pill thing for a little while now. You can follow me on Nation Hip Hop or the Fisherman KB on Instagram.
Gotcha.
And I teach men how to be men. Simple.
Facts, 100%. Okay, so cool. We want to first hop on here and give some men game on the whole Instagram thing, right? Because here's the thing with dating apps.
Here, echo.
Is it echo?
On your end, though.
I don't know what to do right now because I have a my headphones right here. So there's no crazy audio coming from this. It's coming from this. But honestly, I'm just gonna go no. I have to get out because I don't know what to do.
It's fine.
No big deal. So you can just go live.
Well, I'll still be live.
Yeah,
I'll
stay live, bro. You stay. I don't mess with the audio for everybody else. Okay, real quick. So let's hop into this, brother. So let's talk about holding men accountable real quick, right? Because we can sit here and talk about women all day. We got to talk about the men here. So real quick, this is my thing. With Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Instagram, men kind of lost their sauce with approaching women. Because before you had to approach. You can hit them up on Yahoo Messenger, AOL instant message back then. But other than that, you had to approach girls to get girls. Right. And nowadays, men can hide behind Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. And I think one dude said this, and I want to take credit. He said, most of y'all ain't real players because you can only get a girl over the phone. You can't walk up to a woman in person and talk to her. That. True. So what's your take on how has dating apps in a way kind of ruined dating in your opinion?
Well, dating apps, even just aside from dating apps, most guys don't approach. And that's why on my Patreon, I always tell guys, listen, learn to approach game. And I give certain techniques to do it because I would say maybe 80% of guys, and that number's probably higher, 80% of guys aren't approaching. And it goes back to this almost like an evolutionary thing, right? Like when it's like prehistoric times, if you go and try to approach a girl from a different tribe, you may be afraid that maybe someone from her tribe may try to kill you or do something because most people with relationships, they either talk to somebody from their circle, from their friend group, from work, or somebody that they know. It's usually like that. And that's how the cycle goes, right? And most guys don't approach. Most guys aren't approaching. And this is why I tell guys to approach, and that'll separate you from the rest of the herd. And I actually did a TikTok on it. And from this one TikTok, I had a bunch of girls that follow me. And in the comments, what you'll see, and maybe I'll do a video on it later, they was like, this is so true. I don't get approached like that. And one thing about girls that are 8, 9s, and 10s, a lot of guys might think that they have a lot of options. Maybe they're bougie, maybe they're stuck up. but those girls are very pretty and most guys are intimidated by them and they don't approach them like that. So when a guy actually does approach them, they understand the type of heart and balls it takes for you to come up to them. Now, if you just come up with a little bit of confidence, even if your game might not be supreme, they might be accepting of you, right? And that's something that makes the difference. But the way that dating apps, it's been helping because it's very superficial. So like, you know, no homo, you're a handsome guy, right? I know I look good. So I'll have a lot of success, especially if you have good pictures. You have a really good camera. I follow you. I see some of the pictures you upload. That helps. But all the guys that, you know, if you're not the best looking, if you don't have if you don't know what it means to finesse your profile, it's going to be sucked for you. So it's a really superficial thing and it's killing guys' game. And, you know, it can be easy. I use it as like, you know, as just a little extra on the side, right? But it is hurting guys. And guys don't have any approach game. It's
so, man, I
non-existent.
think you said some great points. And instead of piggybacking, I'm also going to say some new points as well. So number one, I did some Tinder studies real quick. Did you know Tinder is 80% men?
Really?
It's like 78. Okay. Right. So think about it. 8 dudes fighting for 2 chicks. That's basically how Tinder is, right? And then those two chicks, right? There's some girls built like Barry Sanders, 5'1", can hit the A gap like a motherfucker, like Kevin Samuels said, right? Not swiping on dudes in her caliber, but swiping on the Chads and the Tyrones. Right? Even they don't want the average dude. They're swiping on the guy 6'1", handsome with the cool curls, and you know that's what they want too. So the average guy is getting screwed, right? So it's almost like, fellas, like when I make dating app videos on TikTok, guys will comment, dude, I better even get matches. So it's like, dude, so if you're the average guy, average height, average looks, you really have to work on your mouthpiece. Because here's the thing, if you meet a girl in person, confident, cool swag, and she sees your Instagram second, oh, it's whatever. But in reverse, your Instagram is basically what you can stand on if you DM a chick. And if it's horrible, you may not get a chance at her. Now, if you approached her in person, she saw you, she met you, felt the vibe, you were confident, you were cool, she could care less about your IG. If anything, it's better in her eyes that you're not popping and out there because she's not to compete. You know what I mean?
Right. And to elaborate what you're saying, that's definitely true because it was back in the day, it was this girl, right? You know, me and my boy, you know, we were like, you know, it is what it is. We was running the trace on some girl.
Yeah.
Whatever. Stuck to the law is haram. I know, whatever. I got a lot of Muslim followers anyway.
Yeah.
And she was on Tinder. Now this girl is maybe a soft 6, maybe a hard 6, right? Not the best looking, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I looked at her Tinder and I kid you not, wallah, I swear by God, no lies. She had 2,000 messages. 2,000 messages. And that statistic that you just gave, how it's men. Mostly men on Tinder, right? And that makes perfect sense because if there's a lack of women on there, right?
There is.
And then you have a lot of men, and men, their approach game, they have approach anxiety. A lot of guys don't approach, and they're just relying on social dating apps to get girls. That makes a lot of sense. And as far as what you said with your profile, a lot of guys don't even know how to get a good profile. On my Patreon, I give techniques and ways to get girls on the dating apps because I feel like that's one of the most easiest, right? One of the biggest problems that when I'm talking to guys, especially my coaching guys, I say, listen, these guys have fucking 2 pictures up. They have a hoodie on, like fucking you can barely see their face. Bro, she's swiping left right away. Your profile's not appealing. And then they have nothing in their bio. They don't have an appealing bio at all, right? And then you put your Instagram page, you go on the Instagram page, what the fuck is this? Bro, first of all, your page might be private. You might have no picture.
You have a mask on. Best
example. Exactly. I don't even know why people take pictures with masks. That shit is so fucking aggravating. Even females, it makes no sense. What did you think about before you fucking uploaded that picture? Stupid.
They right? Like this one. So, I'm gonna fuck the gram up with this one.
Exactly. Look, and then the best example that I give for guys that your page has to be appealing. I give the example of Dan Bilzerian. Now, if you know who Dan Bilzerian, he's a fucking
poker player, millionaire.
Exactly. Millionaire. He always have tons of girls on his page. He has a appealing lifestyle.
Social proof.
Obviously, he's rich. Exactly. Social proof to the finest at its most high.
Peak, yeah.
But the point is, you're not going to get like Dan Bilzerian, but what you want to do is try to model your page after that. Like if you look on my page, like you said, I do a lot of traveling. I post good pictures on portrait mode or professional pictures. I show my activities. I show that I have a life. Exactly. I'm a professional fighter. I show that I have a life. So my page is going to be more appealing to a female than somebody else. And then I have a tiny bit of clout. I have 11K followers, 11.3, 11, whatever it is. So it's like, all right, well, exactly. He's somebody. So that's a little more appealing. And I even tell guys, listen, you could fake the funk until you actually get it, right? And I give a little techniques on there. Listen, social media is only what people see. You can fake the funk until you actually get it. And you'll see that it'll get you a lot of girls. It'll get you a lot of success in that respect. But guys don't understand that. And that's one of the ways to fix it, you know?
Absolutely, man. I feel like, so for Instagram, right? I feel like number one, you're going to have to ask your homeboys or even hire a photographer to take some cool pics, man. That's number one. And so another thing girls talk about that I watch on a podcast, and again, I'm very wary of taking advice from the fish, but it makes some sense. They said take some pictures with your friends. Now, mind you, I don't like that. And the reason I don't like that is because, bro, how many times I got into a girl's profile picture, say Tinder, right? See a cute girl, okay? Go to her IG. Oh, homegirl's wayfinder. Screw you. That girl lost for posting her homegirl, right?
Right.
So it's like I can post my homeboys on my story, right? But as far as my page, But the second thing I will say to help out your profile, guys, is to basically show a girl what lifestyle she can join, right?
Right.
So like, what can I join here? So if you're at a nice dinner, nice place, take a pic there. You know, if you're traveling, make sure you put in the geotag where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like show, and if you have activities, you're a photographer, videographer, you box, you like to rock climb, show girls that what lifestyle they're gonna join by messing with you, right? And also dress how you're about to go on a date. Of course, sometimes it's cool to post up a picture in a white tank top, Nike shorts. Okay, cool. But it's like, have some cool fits where this is how you see me right now, baby. It's how I'm going to be when we link up. See how fly I am? This is what you're going to get, right? Give them a little preview of like how you dress. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little without giving too much sauce. You know, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the sauce right there. But I'll elaborate on it since we already went there. And this is something that I give to guys on my Patreon. On my Patreon, I say, listen, guys, post on your story all the activities. And a lot of guys want to get their exes back. And this is not the whole key, but this is one key. So don't try to run with it and think you guys got the whole enchilada. So one of the keys is I tell guys to post on your story, post all your activities, post everything you do. And this is one of the things that I tell guys to do. And one thing that guys might think that might ward girls off is posting other girls on your story. Like every time I go out, I post a dinner plate and I post mine, and the girl might be in the picture, maybe her hair or her arm. But what that does is that says to girls, oh wow, he goes on a lot of dates. And I seen that girl yesterday, her hair is different from hers. He's always has so many girls. What is going on? I need to know what it is about him that girls like, right? So it makes them curious. And you might think, especially if you just straight up showing a girl, if you show a pretty girl and they be like, oh, is that your girlfriend? No, just a friend. But damn, you're with this pretty girl at 2 a.m. posting on your story? No fucking way. And then the next day it's another girl and then another. No, I need to know what it is about him. Hey, so when are we going to hang out? You may think that might ward off girls, but it doesn't. It does the exact opposite. It brings more girls into you. So we have social media, but you need to utilize it. If you learn to utilize it to your benefit instead of your detriment, it can help you, you know.
Absolutely, man. You're
100% right on what you said.
It's funny, man. You're right. A lot of guys do think they post girls. Here's the thing. They may send you a rolling eye emoji, right? They may go, oh, another, you know what, B word. They may do that, but just know deep down, it's just social proof, bro. Girls, man, listen, if Dan Bilzerian...
There are some insecure girls. Some girls might not be up for it. Some girl, oh, hell no, he posted, man, I'm done with him. Because some girls are very high maintenance. They're not used to another guy doing that, right?
Facts.
And some girls are super insecure to that's not something they can handle, right? But those are not the girls that you want anyway, because you can't implement any competition anxiety. Because if you can't have competition anxiety, it makes it really hard for you to keep a girl long term. So if she's super insecure, that's not really a girl you want to deal with anyway. Let the bitch go.
Absolutely, man. And so what I was going to say was, if you think about it, if you took Dan Bilzerian, right, and had him walk down the street, you think girls would be all over him? No, he's 5'9". You know, he has a good build, but like he's not an ideal girl's type, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens is social proof. If these 10 models are hanging out with him, why aren't I the 11th? What does he have that all these girls are so interested in? Why are all these girls in his comments? Why are all these girls in his DMs? What is it? And it's even like, for me, it's not it doesn't work the other way around. If a girl's built like Precious and she pulls with Michael B. Jordan, I don't care. I think a nigga's Michael B. Jordan. You're delusional on what you see in that, but your social proof, Michael B. Jordan, isn't gonna make me want to bang that Precious looking girl. Men aren't the opposites. Like women are. If they see you with a bad chick, they're wondering, okay, who is this dude? Like what sauce does he have that I haven't experienced yet? So I think social proof definitely work in your favor. Now let's talk real quick, guys, about the DM. I think the DM is, and I was watching the Fresh and Fit podcast, and this dude Rhino said it best, and I'm so glad he said it best because he has clout. Real quick, guys, it doesn't matter what you say. And but I'll give you an example. Me, when you DM a girl an elaborate pickup line, you're basically looking up at her and go, how can I impress you? Women want a superior. They want a man better. If you go in their pickup and their DM with some elaborate to make them laugh, they know you're overcompensating for something. That's just my opinion, right? To me, I'm gonna say, hey, you, what's good? And if you go to my profile and you think I'm handsome enough, you're gonna respond. Drake can send a girl a freaking candy emoji, a foot emoji, and they're still gonna respond. Why? Clout, looks, status. It doesn't matter what you say. So what do you think about the whole, does a guy have to send an elaborate DM to go get a girl's attention?
In some cases. Now, but I do agree with you. Females do have a hypergamous nature.
Yes.
And they don't like weakness. In most cases, females want a man that's going to show strength, or somebody who they just generally think is better than them, right? That's why females date up and they don't date now. You'll have a lot of females say, if I'm making X amount of dollars a year, he needs to make the same or more.
Or more, exactly.
Most females that are making a certain amount of dollars, they usually don't date down. That's just the way females are, right? Now you can convey the same thing that guys that have a lot of money if you have a lot of game. Now, as far as social media goes, this is why I try to tell guys in my Patreon, listen, if you have 500 followers, trying to DM a girl with 50K, 100K, anything after 100K, she may not even see your fucking DM because one, you're falling into her request messages. That's first and foremost. Second, she's not going to even fucking see you because she has so many messages. And let's say if she does stumble upon your profile and your profile's fucking private, right? And she can't see it. Now, let's say if your profile's not private, she can see your pictures. There's always exceptions to situations. No homo, he may be a beautiful fucking guy. He may be fucking Casanova himself. So he may be exceptional. But in most cases, she's not, because even still, that doesn't matter. Sometimes they want some type of social proof, right? So sliding in girls' DMs, you may have a slick line, but there has to be something to be coupled with it, right? You have to have some type of social proof, or at least convey that you have some type of boss position. You give value, you have money, something that has to be, because when she says, oh, wow, that was creative, he got my attention. Let's see. Now, but I agree with what you said. If you're doing too much, you might fall to the wayside, because it's like, all right, he's trying really hard. Let's see what his profile looks like. Oh, okay, it's a nice profile. Maybe I'll give this a chance. But most cases, that's not the case. That is not the case,
so.
right?
I don't think so either,
so,
man.
In most cases, that's not the case. So you're not gonna have success like that.
So yeah, man. To me, it's like, I don't want to get a girl's attention off of just being a dancing monkey, toward AMS. You know, I much rather just say, hey, you, and you respond when we start talking. I don't want to have to, I'll do some crazy pickup line. Here's the thing. I would say if we break down her DMs out of 100, I'm going to say more than 60 or 70 already disqualifying themselves by being too corny or being way too forward. Like, I want to nut in you. That may not work. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes just jump straight to it. Like, I'll drink your bath water, and sometimes that ain't gonna get you in the door. So I'm trying to be the guy that just keeps it simple.
And it goes back to validation, and you know.
Yep, validation.
Exactly. I did the approach series on my Patreon. So I have an approach series where I give a series of videos on approaching females. So I give a series of videos on approaching females, and I say, listen, and this is free sauce, by the way. One thing I say when approaching females, don't come up and say, hey, beautiful. Don't come up, hey, how you doing, sexy? You don't do that. One thing that I say to guys, I'm just like, you know, if I approach a female and I go up to talk to her, I was like, I walk up to her, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Simple. What's your name?
Yeah, simple,
if you go with the name, she's gonna be like, oh, I'm so and so. Okay, well, my name is KB. I just came up over to you because I thought you had a real interesting look. So I just wanted to come say hi. I'm a real social person. I talk to people, and that's, you know, it is what it is. Okay, and then, you know, there's other little techniques that you have to do on aside from that, you know, basic PUA shit that I learned from you know, the mystery method, just reading books and shit that I did growing up. But and that's one way of doing it, because if most girls, their egos are so high, and like you said, social media is so crazy nowadays, the ugly girls are getting a lot of options. So if you walk up to her and validating her, in most cases that's not going to work in your favor. I'm not going to say it never works. There are some cases, but most cases it's not going to work.
Real quick, that one chick, if I look cute in Puerto Rico, imagine how I look in Aruba. It's like, okay, relax.
Oh my God. I did that video, and I tried to do it in the most respectful way.
I tried.
Yeah. She got destroyed so bad.
They dragged her by her.
Like, bro, and that video got like 2 million views on it. That shit was crazy. And that's the thing with TikTok. You'll make a video, but you don't know which one is going to go viral, right?
You don't.
And I made an analogy, and I'm just like, social media, and I blame social media. And it says social media has the girls that and I gave the term the 49ers, right? As a term that I got from the guy
Coach
named Matt from 33 Seconds, right? I don't know, but it's a guy that I watched from 33 Seconds, Matt from 33 Seconds. I watch him, I like him. I call him like my white uncle. I was watching for a while. And basically, you have girls that are 4s in looks, but they think they're 9s. So in return, we call them 49ers, right? And I said, this girl, I don't know if I said that one, but I basically said I blame social media because they get so much validation nowadays, and guys are afraid of approaching. And some guys will just have sex with anything. So I think I said a cow. So obviously I didn't call her a cow, but she's not a cow, but she's not pretty female, but some guys will still fuck, right? So they do her crazy, and she's mistaking these guys that want to fuck for actual options, viable options, but it's actually not the case. And they fucking drove her through the fucking mud.
Man, I feel like after a while, those comments felt like punches.
Yeah. She made another, she was actually crying, and I felt a little bad, but I'm like, listen, I didn't tell guys to DM me. That's too much. I didn't say go that far. If I say tell a guy, because it was one girl, I never do this. And one girl, she tried to comment on my family, and I was like, all right, that's too far. Go send her a friendly message. They already know what that means. But listen, I don't play when it comes to the fucking family. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the family, it's different. And I won't do that again, but I had to that time. But otherwise, don't leave those girls. I tell them, this is what I tell them. Just drop the fishing hooks in their comments.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Because we already know it's delusion. We already know what it is. So just spare them, you know?
Facts. Yeah, man. I feel like to me, when I deal with chicks, I tell men, you got to make them earn the validation. You walking up straight up, hey, can I buy you a drink? Hey, beautiful. Like, dude, like, she hasn't earned it. So she doesn't respect your validation. So I feel like you got to make them earn the validation. Because when you actually say, oh, you look really nice. Like, like it hits him like, damn, he has never complimented me once. So when he says it, I know it's for real. Right?
You got to throw him a bone every once in a while. Like how Amos used to say, you got to throw him a bone. Right. But no, I agree with you. You don't, and even in particular, sometimes And you gotta fight it sometimes because it's very unnatural.
Yeah, bro. It's tough, dude.
Not to compliment it, especially if you're dating a bad one. And
yeah, bad one. Yeah.
So fucking good. And it's just like, oh my God, I can't wait to fuck her tonight. I just want to eat her ass right now, like at this fucking table. But it's just like, you got to fight it. And if she's like, oh, do you like this? Like, say, for example, this is an example I give to my coaching students on Patreon. I say, listen, they ask her, what if she asks us about a dress? Do I like it? This is what you say. You're like, you see the dress? I like the dress, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling that color. But it fits you well. It's a nice dress, but I don't know if yellow really fits you well. So
it's back and forth. It's
like
a good
backhanded compliment. You know, you're not really validating them too much, but that's game right there. So this way, it doesn't get to the head too much. And every once in a while, but only time I say free sauce. Let me fuck all that. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, hold on. Patreon.
I was about to give us some free sauce. Fuck it.
Hey,
but anyway,
so it's funny, bro. Like I was watching this AMS video. It's probably still one of my favorite ones. It's when girls get so down bad, they start asking for validation, right? And he said, guys, when a girl tells you how's the food she made you, you tell her this. I can tell you put a lot of effort into it. Imagine, man, if a girl sat there 3-4 hours making you, I don't know, some short ribs with, you know, in the crock pot, took 3-4 hours, and go, I can tell you put a lot of effort into it. She's gonna look at you side.
Yo, but that's the thing. You know what? When I started watching AMS, right? When I started watching AMS, he was like literally AMS was one of the first like red pill guys that ever watched. And from watching him, I realized most of the stuff that he says and teaches as far as females goes, I was already doing it, right? So I come from a family of like players, right? And a lot of the stuff I had learned, and I was like, wow, like, and then I remember he said, like, if you do, there are some guys that naturals, bro, I've been fucking since 12. And I tell guys, I never tried to disclose my body count, but after high school, I had more than 50 bodies. Now, for some guys, that's hard to conceive because they're like, oh, that's cap. But these are the guys, if on average, I've read a few studies and I watched a few YouTube videos. On average, people have sex with like maybe 50 in a lifetime, but some is less than that, 6, 7, and then they go get married. That's not normal for average people, right? So I just was like, damn, a lot of stuff that AMS is saying I've been doing. But the only thing that I didn't really like about AMS, he relied heavy on like choosing signals. He doesn't really teach any of the PUA stuff, and he doesn't really improvise. Because I've watched him. He says, you know, when it comes to a girl, I can't tell you this, that, and the third. So I was like, that kind of turned me off, but I still love him. I call him Uncle AMS. If we were ever do a live, I would let him speak because I have a lot of respect for him. And you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the only thing that's different. But
so
AMS is the truth.
I'll say this, you know, I get where he's coming from. I understand it. But the only issue is most men, I would say, are average. Most men are average. So they're not, to me, you know, I'm a 6'1" light-skinned nigga. I get choosing signals all the time, right? So it's easy for me to say. But what about the dude who's 5'8" and just okay looking? Girls aren't gonna be hawking him down at the bar or the club. So he has to have that uber confidence that I'm gonna go get this chick. I'm gonna rock her socks off. She likes it or not, you know?
Right. And that's another thing. And that's why I would say it's easier for him to say that, right? He's
6'4", yeah.
Me, I'm 5'10", 5'11", right? Because when I have my shoes on, maybe I might be 6 feet. When I got my Timbs on, I'm definitely like 6'1", right? but the point is, your average guy, and you know, when I was younger, I never really understood the height thing really, because I guess I've always had confidence. I've been boxing all my life, and boxing gives you a lot of confidence. But I guess I've always had confidence, so I never really thought of height as a thing until like after high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, whatever. And because it was girls that were dating like tall guys, and I fucking come take their bitch, right? Because it was just, you know, that's just me. And I feel like, you know, my looks, I feel like I'm exceptional. But the point is, you're right. For a guy that, because I guess taller is more desirable, but you can compensate for those things, right? You can compensate for, and there's a lot of different things, especially I get on Patreon to make up for it. But if that's you, and you know you get a lot of choosing signals, and you can act upon that, that is more appealing to you. So when AMS says, yeah, you wait for the choosing signals, some guys might not get choosing signals. So cold approach is maybe in your favor. And that's what I teach guys, because I do get choosing signals a lot, but I still feel I want to master it all. I want to master the girls that don't want me. I want to master the girls that They do want me. I just want to master it all. And I want to be able to see a good looking girl and say, damn, I regret not approaching her. She was fucking fine. I may never see her again.
True.
So, you know, that's why I take the cold approach on Patreon and I give all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
So for me, I much rather approach a chick, get rejected, than drive home going, damn, what if?
Right.
You know,
right.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Last Sunday, I was at an event with some of the most baddest chicks I've seen in a minute. The girls who were like the 7.5s, maybe the 8s, were choosing. I was like, bro, there's like 20 to 30 10s here. Let me work my game on them. And the issue was some of these 10s, where were they? VIP sections with like 3 or 4 bald dudes with ball main shirts on and bust down rollies, right? So it's like those chicks, man, I've been looking for looks. They just looking for a provider. So when I approached them, hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm Sammy. Okay, Sammy, I see you running on all-seeing eye. Are you Persian? No. Like, just like the conversation felt like I was just like pulling teeth, right? So I go, okay, for sure, Sammy, I'll tap in with you later. And I never did because she was just so like, okay, like, who are you?
It sounded like she was in her ego. See, this is, you got to give her negs. You gotta insult her a little bit to bring down her game. Hey, listen, you got to join the Patreon, baby. I got the answers for it, baby. Yeah. I got all the fucking. But no, you're right though. And something with certain girls appeal. Some girls may be about looks, so that may favor you, right? Sure. Some girls may be about money. Certain things appeal to certain girls, but there's avenues and ways around it. You're not gonna get every girl. You're not.
Hell no.
It's plain and fucking. You're not gonna get every girl. It's just the way it is. Even you might get a girl and have sex with her, do everything with her, she just might leave you. It's a lot of different variables, but you got to maximize your game, and that's why, like, I wanted mastery growing up, and I just have that, like, that strong mindset. I just want to get it, and I want to be able to get it. I want to find the answers, and I want to understand this shit. So you're right though. You're right.
Yeah, some girls in that club are just looking for who can provide, who can buy the Birkin, who can take me and my friends to Cabo, and the fact that I was in the VIP section, she may not even give me a shot. But who knows? I do with game. Yeah, could have came up and bagged her.
You got to sell them a dream. Sell them a dream. And that's why AMS says, he's like, listen, I'm going to drive this nice car. I'm going to rock this $10,000 Rolex. I'm going to wear the nice chain. I'm going to wear some big ass diamond earrings. And then when she thinks she getting a fucking meal ticket, I'm going to fuck that bitch and toss it to the side of the road. And it's genius because girls do it to us all the time. They manipulate us all the time.
They dangle in front of us. Yeah.
Exactly. They get the BBL, got the fake lashes, long ass weave, fucking makeup. They'll sell you, oh yeah, daddy, you the only one, this and that and the third. And she might use you. And the guys that ain't got no game, take you out, take me out on a whole bunch of dates. He think he getting pussy. No, he not. Finesse hot girl summer. But I'm gonna go fuck KB. I'm gonna go fuck defund simping because they got game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. While I'm using this bozo for his money, right? But you got to manipulate sometimes.
Yeah, man, I feel you, bro. And sometimes for me, like, I don't like talking to a female when I feel like she has no interest, right? Girl has to give me some interest, right? For example, like when I was talking to her, her shoulders were like this. If you're listening on Spotify, it's like her shoulders weren't open to me. She was basically talking to me over her shoulder, right? You know what I mean? So when the girls feel me, I know she usually opens her shoulder. She takes a couple steps forward. She may touch my chest, go, they do things to show interest in those things I'm looking for. And if they're not giving me what I want, it's like, girl, there's more of you here. I'm not going to, sit here and try to pull teeth with you. If you want me, you can keep eyeing me down. Maybe I'll come back to you later. But I want to segue into ways to lose her, right? This podcast, I want to make sure that we're giving guys as much game as possible and holding men accountable as well. So I'll go first, man. One way, okay, first I'll say this. Guys, there's some ways you can lose her without you doing anything. Like, for example, me and KB were talking off air. Like, you can hold your chopsticks wrong at dinner and she go, not cultured enough. You can order a freaking margarita and go, I don't like tequila drinkers. Like, it can be that simple. When girls go on dates with you guys, they're honestly looking for ways to disqualify you from getting the puss. Because think about it, 100 dudes in their DMs, 20 y'all may get dates this month, and maybe 3 or 4 hit. So she's always looking for a disqualification. So sometimes it's not even your fault. You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, definitely. And what you just mentioned is what's called a congruence test.
Yes.
Women, and you got to understand is, in a way, and this is why I believe in taking responsibility for your life 100%, right?
Facts.
Guys, your average guy is not going to know what the fuck is a congruence. Some call it a bitch test, some call it a shit test.
Shit test, yeah, sure.
And basically what that is it goes back to this fundamental thing. Women have a hypergamous nature and they want the best viable option. So they're going to test you and they're trying to see basically, is he used to dealing with beautiful women? Is he used to dealing with women of this caliber? So they're going to test you to see where your strength is at. Oh, like for example, like say, I don't like tequila drinkers. Oh, you really don't? Oh, that's terrible because I love tequila. And that's how you would deal with that. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's an ugly shirt. This shirt? Really? You think this is an ugly? Hell yeah, that shit is ugly, baby. You know what? I got 10 more like it. If we go on another day, I'm gonna wear one just like it, letting her know I don't give a fuck about what you think. And it shows this frame that you're not willing to compromise. That's why they always love the bad guys, right? But what you got to understand is, and it goes honestly, I don't want to, jump the gun, but there's a lot of different things you guys can do. And this is why you just really got to know game. And there's a lot of different things you guys can do to fuck up the date. And it's really loser, right? There's a lot of different things you can do. Like it's so many different things. Like you could fucking, I would bad breath. I feel like is always a killer. I don't give a fuck what fundamental rule. Like it could be a lot of different things, and even in relationships.
Facts. I feel that, man. I think so. I'm gonna get in some ways that, again, everything we say, guys, is it 10 out of 10 true? No, there's some girls out there who can be an outlier to one or two things. But for the most part, these things 70, 80% of the time can ruin it. So one thing I would say is setting a date on the date, right? You're on the date with her saying, oh man, I love that. When can I see you again? Like on the date, like, man, she still has to go home, talk to her homegirls and analyze you for the second one. Don't you asking her out on the date on the date is showing extreme high interest, which may turn off a lot of girls, especially if they're not really feeling you that much. You feel me? I think a second thing a guy can do to kind of ruin the dates, like the second one, is to me personally, is it kind of goes back to the first thing I said, was like showing too much. Basically, you're showing too much of high interest. You have to act like you've been there before. You mentioned, is this guy used to dating beautiful women? If it goes back to that, right? Are you showing crazy high interest after one freaking date? Guys, you should be unfazed after date one. Because she could have put on a whole act. I guarantee by date 4 or 5, you may see who she really is. I mean, all us men, anyone in this podcast can say yes. From first date to 5th date was a different woman, right? So you got anything else where men can kind of screw it up during the date or post date? Like that's more of a for sure thing they can screw it up by.
Definitely, like a lot of things is, and there's one thing that I tell my guys. I talk about it on my Spotify podcast or Patreon, is polarizing a relationship. Now, if you don't know what it means to polarize your relationship, that is basically not being afraid to stand up to it. And that's
huge.
That's one of the main things, especially like, and I get it, right? If you have an exceptional case, right? And you're dating a girl that is a little more beautiful than what you're used to, right? Like, let's be real. We don't come across 10s and 9s that often, right? But when you do, you're like, damn, I want to get this girl. Holy shit, like even 8s. You don't come across now as you, I want to get this girl. I don't want to do anything to fuck this up. I want to get this to go right. So she might start shit testing you. And what you find yourself doing, you're catering to her. You don't want to disagree with her because you're afraid you'll upset her. You're afraid this girl she'll like walk away from you, right? So what you find yourself is she's like, oh, don't do that. I don't like that. Or here, don't take off your mask. Are you vaccinated? Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Don't ask me my fucking. I'll obviously don't say that. If a girl asks me, don't take off your mask, I gotta take it off now. I have. Don't You said take off my mask? Oh, now I can't wear it. And by the way, guys, restrictions are lifted, so you guys can take off those fucking masks. So that's the perfect way to justify it. But the point is, it's small things, and this is another reason why divorce rates are so high. You're afraid to stand up to her. You're validating her too much.
Oh, let me ask my wife. Let me ask my wife first.
Exactly. Yeah, you're fucking. You're validating her too much. What else? Even simple things. If you have a disagreement, like perfect example I give on Patreon, fucking a girl might say a little small foot debate, right? And this is lighthearted. Like say if she says, you know what? The ocean is blue. No, it's not, baby. It's water is clear. The water is clear. It's the reflection from the sky that you're seeing. No, it's not. How can you say that? How it's, you know, some girls have such ego, they're not used to guys disagreeing with them. But if you don't give a fuck, that shows that this person's not willing to compromise for himself for me. He's treating me like a regular girl, even though I'm beautiful as fuck and no guy ever talks to me like this. So you say, no, it's not. It's clear. How can you say, this is simple logic, baby? You want to use Google? Google is your friend. Don't be afraid to stand up to her. Don't be afraid to not give her her fucking way because she's not used to that, especially if she's a little over average, even if she's a 7 or an 8. Even if she's a 7 and looks and has a fat ass, well, that might make her an 8. But you know, even if it's a little above average, don't be afraid to polarize your relationship. Don't be afraid to stand up to her. And that's one of the biggest mistakes guys make on dates.
Got you. And I also feel like I'm a piggyback. I'm gonna first do something to add as well. Is guys, limit to seeing her maybe once, tops twice a week. And if you see her twice a week, space it out. You see her Monday night after work, you may see her Saturday, you know, for a couple hours. But a lot of times as guys, again, date a pretty girl. Oh, I want to see this girl every day now, you know, and they start to be too available for her, right? I was coaching one client, and he said, oh, well, we're on a date with her on Saturday. She has to see me Sunday. I said, don't go. Tell her, listen, I got shit I gotta do. How's Tuesday? And that also keeps you in the leadership position. We're not going on your call, we're going on my call, right? You know, so you got to make sure that you're not too available for this chick. Because again, girls will never tell. I had one girl tell me the truth. Like, yeah, if a guy is always hitting me up, asking me to hang out, I correlate that to not on your grind, not on your purpose, nothing going on. I'm your priority. That's a turn off. Girls will rarely give you this honest game. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, you got to make sure that seeing her once a week lets her know, if I bail on this dude, I gotta wait another 7 to 10 days to see him again, right? It puts them in scarcity. I don't have 7 days where you can see this guy. I get one. If I mess up that one day, it's gotta wait another 7 to 10 days to see me again, right?
Right.
But let's piggyback. Go on.
No, okay. Just elaborate on that right quick.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the example that I give guys. So I have I had a series. I have to recreate it because they deleted my YouTube.
Yeah.
But I had a series on Patreon where building a rotation, and I teach guys how to build a rotation. And I say, listen, if you have a whole bunch of girls and you're on your purpose, there's no way you can hang out with one girl every day, right?
No.
Because a lot of guys want to have more girls, all right? And I tell them, listen, you got to think about it like this. How often do you see a Honda Accord or a Honda Civic? A lot, right?
A lot, yeah.
All right. How often do you see a fucking Lamborghini Aventador?
Once or twice a week. Get that. Yeah, I'm in those seats.
That's still a lot. That's a lot for you. That's still a lot. But most times guys aren't seeing those unless you live in a neighborhood in an area where that's a little more common. You have to make your attention valuable. And that's also how you make girls fall in love. Because when she's thinking about you when you're not with her and she's staying on your mind, that's how you do it. And you're on your grind and on your purpose. Like me, I'm doing videos all day. I can't see these girls all the time, right? It's no secret. Yeah, I talk to more than one girl. They know about it. Thanks. And they know what I do. You can ask my coaching client. I'm in here giving these niggas the sauce. And she's on the fucking bed. And he's, oh shit, you got a girl in the back. You still want to talk about this stuff? I was like, hey, she good. Listen, we game at this level, it don't fucking matter. It don't matter. It don't matter, right?
Thanks.
So listen, guys, your attention has to be, you have to have your attention to where it's like super valuable. If you're easy accessible, if your attention is easily accessible, she will get bored with you.
For example,
right.
Yeah, for example, met this really pretty Latina chick, 27 years old. I'm 25. And for example, it's like she was texting me. We're texting for like I'd say 10 messages tops. Hey, what's your availability Sunday night? Oh, I'm free. Okay, cool. Let's do this at this time. Okay, bet. Didn't text her for the rest of the day, right? It's like 3 p.m. Give you some context. This morning, hey, I got a busy day. I got a busy day ahead of me. Have a good day at work. Talk to you later. She said, bet. I'll see you later too. I tapped in with her. I gave her a dose of attention, and I'll talk to me either tonight for a little bit or tomorrow. Because so she knows that I can't be talking to this dude all freaking day. He's doing shit. And then she sees my story and sees me actually out doing photos, videos. Like, oh, this guy's actually walking like he's talking it. Like he's not just saying that, he's actually in the field working. You know what I mean? So you gotta microdose your attention, because I tell guys, as you know this too, men want sex, women want attention. But you FaceTiming her 5 days a week, texting her 40 hours a week, which some dudes are actually doing, that's basically in a way sex to her. She get like, just think about it. A girl talks to 5 niggas, but she's only smashing 1 or 2, right? You know what I mean? So only 1 or 2 of those men actually get sexual access. The rest have a purpose. You take me out for dates. You give me my attention. You pick me up when I'm down. You don't want, you guys, you want to be guy number 1 and 2, the guy that's getting the box. You don't want to be the guy that she uses for attention, because girls will string the puss along in front of your face for sometimes years, months, decades. All the time, and guys will justify, oh, she's just busy, oh, she's just not. No, she's sucking balls somewhere. I promise you.
I agree with you. And to elaborate, and I do, and one of the things that I do emphasize on phone game, because when building comfort, you need a certain amount of hours of comfort in order for a girl to be comfortable with you. Your tactic works too. What you're doing works 100%, right? But I do talk about phone game a little bit, but obviously, and micro doses, like you said, you can't give them the whole enchilada right away. So that part you definitely got spot on, right? I agree with you 1,000%. And I'll give you a story. So let's say, for example, right? It's just an example. So, let's say we got a girl and she's texting Bob, Bill, Joe, and Timmy all week. They're texting her good morning throughout the day, every day. I hit her with 2. I got her attention. I got her number on Sunday. I talked to her a little bit Monday, Tuesday, give her a little attention, talk on the phone, maybe 20, 15 minutes. I hang up first to make sure, listen, you're not gonna have your way with me. I have a life, I gotta go. Set up a date in those 2 days, give her a little bit of attention, and then I ghost her for the rest of the week. Meanwhile, she has 5 guys texting her all day, every day. They're fucking boring. She's been talking to them all week. She's tired of hearing of them. Then I hit her back on Friday. Oh my God, let me jump at the chance to text him. Well, hey, where you been? But I do let her know that I'm a busy person. So this way, it's like a fail safe. So this is the way she's like, oh, you ghosted me a week, didn't talk to me. But listen, baby, I did tell you I was a busy person, I have a busy life. You know what I'm saying? And posting activities and what you're doing is a way to, correlate with what you said. Yeah. So this week, she's talked to these guys a week and she wanted to hear from me. She liked me. She's showing high interest, but she didn't hear from me all week. So it's like, damn, she finally gets a chance to talk to me. Let me talk to him. What are you up to? Hey, are we still on for Friday or Saturday, like you said, right? So this way, there's a lot more mystery. You're not giving yourself up so easily. And this is something that most guys do not know. I could have 2,000 viewers. You could have another 1,000, even 1,000,000 viewers. But most men will never come across this type of knowledge. And that's why divorce rates are so high. Guys don't know how to dominate their relationships, right? And ladies, if you're listening to this and you want your man to have game, but you don't want to listen, send him this way, because I promise you that type of PUA shit, Kevin Samuels ain't giving. I promise you. And I have all the respect for Kevin Samuels, right? But there's certain game that those guys aren't giving that type of game, and not in detail like that. Defund Simping, and I'm on live with Defund Simping, guys. He has an idea because he's giving you guys free sauce. This is fucking sauce. So if you're hearing this shit, take fucking notes, because that's game. That's fucking game. Most guys ain't gonna give you that, but some of these guys, they might give you a little bit. Keep the good shit to themselves. He out here giving free sauce, man. He's right. Listen to him.
Facts, man. And so also I'll say this, guys. There was a girl, and I've yet actually no, I made a TikTok about it. So I did my usual game where I set the date on a Monday, Tuesday, and I tap in, not until the day of the date. Because what are we going to talk about? Let's talk about on the day of the date. Guess what? She hit me back. So you're going to ignore me all week? And I said, well, like, because this is the day of the date. I said, well, I'd like to usually, you know, save the conversation for in person. Left me on red. Now, mind you, can you lose girls this way by not talking to them all week? Yes. But do I care? No. Because guys, you can't be in scarcity. That's the thing. When I tell guys to limit your attention, they'll hit me with the, well, what if, dude, you're already lost. Scarcity. Dog, if this girl, I guarantee this girl will hit me up again. Will it be this week? Maybe not. Next month? Maybe not. But soon she'll swipe up and start a dumb conversation. Like, I'm at the gym. Oh, you work out? With dumbbells in my hand? Yes, I do. Like, she'll start a dumb conversation to get my attention, and maybe then she'll go, oh, well, are you free? Like, she'll eventually come back around because she knows this guy ain't compromising for me. I left him on red, and he didn't say a word. Know what's going on, nothing. So and that's an erase your attraction for me. It may take a while to get her back. Here's the thing, I don't care if I get her back because that doesn't matter. I already got new girls I'm seeing this Sunday. I got date, you know, so it's like, I don't mind, right? A lot of you guys are too scared to lose a girl, and it's going to mess the rest of your life. You got to have the abundance mindset. Okay, one down, who's next? You're down, who's next? You know what I mean? You got to be a lot more cutthroat because these girls are cutthroat. Man, girls are ruthless with their options, bro. Girls have think about it. Girls have the natural abundance mindset because that shit on Instagram say 99 plus year round, 99 plus. Think they care about you? You're like, they can replace you in a snap of a finger. Us men, we gotta go out to a bar, approach 4 or 5 chicks and maybe 1 or 2 dates. We gotta swipe 300 times, get maybe 2 or 3 matches, right? So you gotta have the abundance mindset. Women have it, so you gotta have it as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. You said everything. You covered that shit.
So now, this is the last thing we'll mention, and we'll get KB back to doing his thing. Real quick, I'm gonna self-plug myself. Guys, check this podcast out on Spotify. Check this podcast out on YouTube. I got merch out, as you can tell. I'm wearing it right now. Defund Simp, go cop that shit. Also on Patreon, I have 2 tiers. For $7 a month, you can write me 2 personal messages that I will turn into videos for you, and a $20 tier, which is 2 coaching calls a month. KB, real quick, plug the Patreon. What's your tiers looking like?
So we got Spotify. I just made a new YouTube. You can go on if you're on TikTok or Instagram, just hit the link in the bio right there. That's easy. So I got the Spotify podcast. It's called True Nation Talks. Super easy. And there's a lot of sauce on there, guys. There's a lot of fucking sauce. Sauce that'll change your life, right?
Yeah,
and I advise you guys to listen to that before you join the Patreon. Now, if you just want to get to the whole enchilada, the Patreon, I have a few different tiers. So I have a $10 tier where it's just exclusive podcasts that you won't find on Spotify. Then I have a $16 tier where you pretty much get everything down to approach game, running a relationship, staying dominant relationship, making a woman chase you. I even do request videos. For the community, the $16 tier is the best. Then there's the $40 tier. You can text my second phone, whatever you want. You get 1 free call. Then I have the coaching tier where I take on my coaching clients, which is pretty expensive. It's a $240 tier. But you contact me whenever, right? And it's reoccurring, of course. And that, though, guys, some guys need serious coaching. Now, not everybody can afford that, but if you got the pockets for that, I advise you to do that. And basically, I'll get your situation right. There's no guarantees, obviously, but that's pretty much that, guys. So, join
awesome.
That shit and try to get right.
All right, man. So next 20 minutes, man, 12:40, we're gonna cut it loose. So we're gonna talk about game. Right. Reason why I tell guys why game is important. This is the analogy I give. So back in the early 2000s, there was no such thing as a wireless controller, right? You had to plug your controller in, Nintendo 64, PS1, you had to connect your controller to the console. When girls tell men, oh, just screw these guys, they don't know that, just be yourself, and you shouldn't care, and game is stupid. That's their way of playing a multiplayer game with you, but your controller is not plugged in.
Right.
Your controller is not. So she's playing and she's whooping your ass.
Right.
Your controller is not even plugged in. It's funny. I'll give you one quick story, then KB can jump in. on a date with a girl, right? You know how girls are. I don't like to talk about dating with chicks because obviously they don't live in a fact-based reality when it comes to what men have to go through. So they live in a more delusion when it comes to dating. And I'm sorry, most of them do. You know, that's why most girls think most girls think every guy's a player. No, the guys you choose are players. Most men are down bad, as we know. Anyway, she said, oh, just be yourself, just be yourself. I was like, okay, whatever, just agreeing just for the sake of conversation. So she also said, oh, one time I was with this guy, we did the do, and he didn't leave afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute. That guy's just being himself. He just wants to kick it. Like he's in a nice house. He's, a nice bed. He's just being himself. Well, he should know. I mean, he should know. He should know what? Game? Right. And she's like, whoa, her face turned red. She was like backpedaling. That's what I'm saying is women want men, I read this in The Rational Male. Women just want a man that gets it. Right. They just want a man that gets it. They understand her. They understand what she wants. They don't want to have to give a PowerPoint presentation to the man they want. Right? They much rather have a man that just gets it. He knows after we're done, doing the do, get out. He didn't know that because he ain't no game. He wanted to have breakfast and cuddle all day. He's just being himself. He likes the chick. He wants to cuddle. He wants to have a good time. But if you do game, the second it was done, okay, baby, it had a good time. I'll talk to you later. Right out the house. Right? So it's like men need to know game because women are always running their game. Women shit test men subconsciously. They never know they're doing it. If you ask a woman, what your shit tests go? What are that? What do you do to test men? Well, what do you mean? They're doing it. So they don't even know they're doing it because it's hardwired in them to find the best possible mate. So they have to test for masculinity, strength, competence, etc. So that's why I tell men game is important because they're always running on you. So why would you tell men why they need to be aware of game and know game?
I'll tell you, sometimes I feel like I'm doing fucking God's work. Wallah, I swear. Wallah, I feel like I'm doing God's work sometimes. Listen, and I'll break it down for you, and this might be a bit extensive, and I'll try to make it fast. All right. So in religion, I was taught, right? And I used to go to religion class when I was younger. And I promise you, I'll bring it back and it'll make a lot of sense. So they have devils, right? The big devil, on himself. He sits in somewhere in like the Bermuda Triangle, some shit like that, right? And he sits on water on his throne, and he has his group of devils, and they sit around, and he talks to the devils. What did you do devious today, right? And all these devils say, I did this, I did this, I did that. But then one devil comes and he says, I broke up a family, and he says, you're the one. Come sit next to me. And he praises that one devil for separating a family. And why is that so important to Shaitan, the big devil? Because breaking up the family is one of the most important things in society, right? Because the family keeps a community together. A family keeps a society together, right? So a family unit is super important. Now, if you look at divorce rates today, divorce rates are super fucking high. 70 to 80% of divorces, and I give this statistic all the time. And if you follow me on fucking Instagram or fucking on TikTok, they know almost every video I give this shit. And I say, this is so important why you need to have game, especially for men, because 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. And that fundamental thing, what does that go to? Because men do not have game. Most men will never learn game. And it comes back to that fundamental thing. They don't know how to be in a relationship. They don't understand relationship dynamics. They don't know what it means to have space. They don't know what it means to check their wife. They don't know what it means to put her in her fucking place, right? So when I'm saying, guys, you need to learn game, and it's super crucial, and this is why divorce rates are so fucking high, is because men don't understand game. Like, you just can't go up to a girl and say, oh, you know what? I like you. I like you. That does not work that way. And you might think, and this is why I say this is why we have women. This is why we don't have a lot of women leaders, right? And it might sound misogynistic, and it might think that, oh, he hates women. No, that's not the case. If you look at the Bible, if you look at Quran, any of the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, men are leaders. Has there ever been a woman prophet? No. Very righteous women that may have come close, but it does not work like that. Even in Allah says in these scriptures, men are the leaders of women. Why? Because women will tell you shit that they don't mean. I just want to know that you love me. I want to know that you'll never leave. And I promise you, you give her that fucking certainty. A few months later, a few weeks later, maybe even hours later, she might be out the fucking door. Or if she's not, she's mentally checked out of that relationship. There's so many girls on TikTok talking about, oh, I mentally checked out of a relationship months ago, years ago. Why? Because you don't know how to game her. You don't know how to insert the right type of anxiety. You don't know what it means to competition anxiety. You let her disrespect you any type of way. Over time, you let women beta-tize you. So men do a shit ton of things when it comes to letting a woman, fucking up a relationship and not having game. And even when it comes down to it, and it's some of the guys that I coach and some of the private consultations, I'm telling guys to do these certain techniques, and guys message me on a daily, say, yo, I listened to your podcast, and bro, I'm not gonna lie, your techniques changed my life, saved my relationship, saved my marriage. And I feel so justified. I feel so justified in what I'm doing, and I don't really care for the hate that much because I know what my intentions are.
Exactly.
So even on a deeper level, I feel like sometimes, even though it might be this case where I'm telling guys how to get girls and fuck girls, and that might be haram, and it might fall into this gray area, like that's not cool, but there's a lot of good coming from it, right? And I feel like teaching men on how to be men is something that society needs, because men are being emasculated, men are taking on woman ideals. And another thing is, for example, who's your first teacher when you come into this world?
Usually a woman.
Exactly, your mom. So your mom is your first teacher. She's putting woman ideals on you, right? Then you go to school. Majority of teachers are what?
White women. Me for right.
It's not white women. It don't matter. The point is, it's women. It's women. So you go through your upbringing, and then you have society beta-tizing you. You're putting all these women ideals. Oh, if you love her, you have to care about her. If you want her back, you have to chase her. You have to buy her flowers. No, that's going to push that bitch even further. Then she's going to fuck your best friend. Don't do that. Obviously, that's an extreme situation, but women can't tell men how to be men. Women do not understand what it means. They think they know. They might say, I just want you to love me. I want you to do this. But you want a man that's doing all these things, but your boyfriend's an asshole. Your boyfriend sees you once a week. Oh, I want this guy to this, that, and the third. But you've never been with a man like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Women may say a lot of things. Some women are into it. Oh, don't talk to me. I want you to ignore me. If I say that, don't actually ignore me, pay me attention. No, you walk away. She tells you don't talk to her for the fucking rest of the day. Well, she don't do that shit no more. You understand what I'm saying? Women might say that they want a certain thing. They don't actually meet it. And you have to be aware of this. So this way you understand relationship dynamics and you understand how to be in a relationship.
Yeah, man. So to add to that point, which is just showing, this is almost like it should have been an RP moment for me, but at the time I was still too young. Girls would friend zone me, right? Then they'd say, damn, I wish more guys were like you. You're a great guy, while banging the dude the opposite of me.
Right.
So I was like, and it almost made me think, like, wait a minute. You want guys like me, but yet you like the attention I get, but you don't want me physically. So one thing that's why taking advice from girls can be confusing, because when you ask a girl what does she want, she talks about what she wants long term, right? And that guy long term may not turn her on, which is why she has a husband but bangs the pool guy. You know what I mean? So it makes sense where it's like it's dangerous to listen to women sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. There's some real women out there. I'll give you the real game, which is rare, because when women give you real game, it makes them look bad, right? Oh, don't text her every day. Well, girls want attention. Don't text her every day. Oh, like when girls tell you the real sauce, almost like the underground, the underworld, right? Where it's frowned upon to talk about. It's a secret. That's why that's why this is considered locker room talk. What we're doing. This is considered locker room talk. Why? Because it's a place away from chicks,
right? Away
from social conditioning, away from judgment. This is locker room talk. We speak our mind around here because us men, we can handle it, right? We live in reality in this locker room, right? And they'll never be like, if a man starts saying, you know, RP truths on ESPN or any place, he'd be ostracized. You can't say that on this show, bro. It's female opinions only, right? A man can say, oh, my girl can dress half naked and go to the club. You're just insecure. Women, king, 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 right? And that's acceptable.
And that's game sometimes. And some guys use that beta game. They'll appeal to females and be like, oh my God, what you said to him was so right. He's just an insecure, misogynistic, sexist pig. And you were so right. But no, she'll say that. But then the guy she fucking is some asshole loser who's sleeping on her couch. True. And if she doesn't give him what he wants, he'll leave her. And she decides to stay in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's the truth. And if you go against the current status quo, they will try to
shame you, sign language, the shame,
ostracize you, everything. And this is what gives us a living. This is what makes us have a living, because most of society doesn't go with this. They don't like what we're saying. That's why I get so much hate from some certain females in the comments, and they be like, oh no, that's not true. He's an asshole. Don't listen to him. But that's what gives us our living, because we can talk about this, but most guys are still not, and so most guys are so beta-tized, they still not believe it. So they'd be like, well, what is this? And then when they finally say, all right, let me give what he's saying a try, this shit works like fucking magic. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. I had a guy DM me one time, hey man, wasn't a fan, I saw a lot of girls post your videos on Snapchat and ridicule you and say how bad you were, right? So I was scared to think this way, because they don't want to be, they do things. Okay. Let me backtrack for a second. I shower and buy nice cologne with fly for women. But one thing I'm not going to do is keep my mouth shut for women, right? I'm going to speak my opinions, right? Here's the thing. A lot of men are scared to be ridiculed by women. So it's like they won't get laid, right? Oh, if I say I won't let my girl dress half naked to the club by herself with her girls, I may be ridiculed by women and say I'm insecure. So I'm a side with them, right? So I can get more women. But honestly, here's the issue. You may get praised in public, but not in the bedroom.
They're not gonna fuck you.
Exactly. So in the comments, king energy, big D energy, but that guy, I shoot him a DM, I'm good. We can be friends.
Right.
So I think Coach Greg Adams says the beta male gets praised in public, the alpha male gets rewarded in the bedroom.
Right.
For the longest time, I was being rewarded in public. In high school, I was always doing the right thing, talking to one girl at one time, accepting female friendships, even though I wanted them romantically. I was doing all the right things. Society was always clapping for me. Oh, good job, Chad. She's not banging you. She's talking about all her problems. You're a good man for that. You're stepping up, right? But guess what? The dudes say that I was doing the opposite of me. Girls may have called them players and F-boys and talks, but guess what? They were clapping cheeks and I wasn't.
And I was complete opposite. And that's why I think in high school, so I was always just a natural selfish person. I was always selfish. I was just always, and I was, you know what it is? Like, I think it's the Mormons. The Mormons say, give us a child from 0 to 6 and he'll be Mormon forever, because they have this fundamental understanding that a child from 0 to 6, that's when
our brain is so malleable.
Exactly who he is as a person, and his brain development is important. And from 1 to 6, my father gave me a lot of good self-esteem. He would say, you know who you are? You're a Billings. I am? What's so special about that? You're the man, you're the chosen one. And he would just say a whole bunch of shit to hype up my ego. So going into high school, my fucking ego was through the roof. And I was a good looking kid to start with. And then I was always boxing, so I always knew how to fight. And I always had this fucking uber confidence, right? So I was always an asshole. I was naturally an asshole, just masculine. If somebody fucked with me, I'll beat your ass. I was in 7th grade, I was a bully. I was that kid that was beating up kids for their lunch money. I kid you not. If you hear about it, if you know somebody that knows, they'll fucking tell you. And I always know how to fight, so it wasn't exactly fair. But I had this I didn't give a fuck. Like, I just had it, I didn't give a fuck. And that's why I was so good with girls, right? Because if you just have this even in high school, if you have this fundamental idea, it's like, if you care less if a girl says, oh, if you do this, then I'll walk. Okay, well, bye, bitch.
Yeah.
And that simple thing, I remember Naomi, one of the only female best friend that I ever had that was a girl. She said, if you treat a girl like dirt, she'll stick like mud.
Damn
And
shame.
because I was asking, I'm like, yo, I don't even talk to this girl. Why are they on me? Right? Because I think I got the incident. I was talking to some girl and I like kicked her in a book bag because she was getting on my nerve. And she came back a few days. And she was like, yo, she was like, you treat her like shit, but she comes back. I was like, why? She was like, if you treat her like dirt, she'll stick like mud. And it just fundamental knowing that, just being who I was and showing the success that I had, I was like, why am I changed now? For what? I get more bitches than you. How you gonna tell me to be a nice guy? Fuck out my face. Fuck is you talking about? You feel me?
Got you, man. So man, I think today's podcast, bro, we really dropped a lot of sauce. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'll be able to YouTube clip a lot of this stuff and same thing for yourself. Last thing, guys, we're gonna self-plug ourselves and we'll go about our day. KB, you know, no, I'll go first. You can close them out. So real quick, guys, you know, the merch, Defund Simp merch is available on the website. Go check that out. I got a Patreon where it's $7 a month where you can send me up to 2 personalized messages and I'll make a video on your exact topic. I take notes, make sure it's real detailed. And the second tier is coaching. You get 2 coaching calls a month, $20. And I'm gonna make a new tier to where it's all access. You get, you know, maybe 3 calls a month and texting as well. And also check me out on YouTube, Defund Simping Podcast, Spotify, Defund Simping, and of course TikTok. And KB, close them out. Self-plug yourself real quick.
So guys, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Nation Hip Hop. My Red Pill page is the Fisherman KB. If you're on TikTok, just hit the link in the bio. And my Patreon is super important for you guys. So I always believe you guys learning game. The Spotify is my Spotify podcast is True Nation Talks. Now on Patreon, I have a $10 tier for exclusive podcasts, which you won't find on Spotify, which is still a lot on there too. Then the $16 tier, you pretty much get everything. You get, game. I do the approach series, how to run your relationship, how to dominate your relationship, how to train your girl, all that good shit. $16 tiers for the community. That's most. The $40 tier, you get exclusive to almost like OnlyFans content. I ain't fucking on here, but there's that, and you get to text me whenever on my personal, on my other phone, on my personal line. Then there's the coaching tier. You speak to me day in and day out, and we fix your situation. And that's a $240 tier. Pretty expensive. I do cut deals only up until 10 people. Once I hit more than 10 people, we're not cutting in half. So, because that's a lot to deal with. You know, I'm talking to guys day in and day out. But yeah, man, guys, learn that fucking game. Join his Patreon and mine. Guys got to learn game, man. We're doing God's work here. Listen, you got to do it. Yeah, you're gonna fall into a statistic, and your wife is gonna divorce you.
Thanks. Hey, appreciate you, brother KB. And hey, bro, one day when I start really growing, man, I'm gonna fly out to LA, and I'm my own spot. Then around that time, and we live in the studio, we're gonna do it big. I promise that.
Listen, I'm ready whenever. I could do it now, baby. It's nothing. It's nothing. You feel me?
All right, man. Peace out. Have a good day, brother.
All right, man. You too.
Peace.
I'll let you.